to mark your attendance. You can raise your queries after the completion of session. Try not to post any relevant questions. Okay. Moving on, we will have to understand about the switch case statement. Okay. So the switch case statement, we will do one or two examples. Then we will start with looping statements. There are only 6 sessions for the C lab. So out of that, this one is fourth. So we are going to cover up the remaining part of the course quickly. So all the learners are supposed to practice continuously whatever is being taught in the last sessions. Like otherwise, it would be difficult for you to comprehend what is going on. So I would advise all the learners to practice the programs. Okay. I give you programs, you have to practice it, right? So if you practice more, you will get the uh, grip of the programming. Okay, so we will start with code blocks. So I have already told you about switch case. So in what happens in switch statement, that you have to evaluate an expression. So the expression is written here, and there can be this expression can yield multiple values. It can have multiple outcomes, and each of these outcomes we try to capture as a case. Okay, so for example, you go to a hotel and you order a dish. So the dish can vary from one one this person to another person. So if I go to restaurant, I will order some like other dish. If you go to hotel, you will order some other dish. So if I say that dish is a variable, so it can have different values, like for example, food item 1, food item 2, food item 3. Let's say there are only 3 dishes available in that hotel. So this variable dish can have multiple values like food 1, food 2, food 3. Okay. So what are these? These are cases. So if you order the food 1, you will get that food 1. So that is a case. So in that case, you will write the value for this expression. So that, let's say the expression is dish. Okay. And in that dish, you will have food 1. So the case will be food 1. And that you will have statements like. And then once you eat that food, you have to come out of that hotel. You cannot continue eating other dishes. So we use a break statement. So break statement uh, moves us to the end of this block, not at the end of the program. It takes you out of that switch case construct. So the switch statement, switch is a keyword which evaluates an expression, and case is a keyword which presents a case of that expression. So that case is uh, created as a block with the help of a colon sign. Okay, so this is a colon sign which is a block for this particular case, right? Those who have studied Python, they know what is colon sign. So colon sign is used to create blocks. In the same way, this here also this colon is used to create block for that particular case. Okay, so for example, in food number 1, you get salad. In this food number 2, you get bread. Okay, in this food number 3, you get some other vegetable. Okay, so if I say that food number 1, so here you will write salad. So salad will be your statement inside this food 1. In food 2, case number food 2, the statements will make you use bread. Okay, if you eat that dish, you have to come out of that hotel. So we use break statement. So break statement will bring you out of this loop. So here you write break. Here also you write break. Here also you write break. So this dish can have multiple values. But if you don't order any of these food items, okay, then we can have default. Okay. So default means if none of the above cases are true, in that case you will have default. So if you don't order any dish, by default you will get water. So that default will become water. In this you will have a glass of water. Right? So that will also take you out from the switch case. But here you don't need not to write break. Okay. So this is how you uh, like understand the switch case construct. Okay. So let's do an example for this switch case. I've already told you about what are the different rules. So the parenthesis after the switch keyword will hold an expression. You evaluate the expression. After the switch expression, you put curly braces, and in that curly brace, you write all the cases. For every case, you have to put colon sign after the case label. So this is called case label. Case label is value 1, value 2, value 3. These are case labels. Okay. All right. So what C compiler does, it checks the expression for every label, whether that expression is having that label. Okay. Inside that switch expression, it can be a constant or a the case expression can be a constant or a literal. Okay. Switch statement should have integral or enumerated data type. But when we talk about case statement, the case statement will contain either a constant or a literal. Okay. So when you reach the break statement, the switch case terminates, the switch block terminates. So here, let's understand an example here. So in this example, what we have got three subjects. That do you remember that that example where we discussed for if else if ladder? That if else if ladder. So this example can have a switch case implementation also. So the same example can have switch case implementation, right? So the same example can have switch case implementation. So here the for every value of grade, we have different cases here. For this case A. So if grade is A, then we print grade is A. If case is B, then print grade is B. If case is C, we print grade is C. Okay. If case is D, grade is D. Otherwise, by default, grade is E. So if you don't encounter either of these cases, you come out from this switch case construct. So after switch, inside switch statement, we have got an expression here. Okay, so this expression can be a variable. But what about this case label? Case label can be a character or a literal. Okay. In this way, we have got another example. See. So here we will make a calculator. Using the switch case program, we will make a calculator. We will ask the user to enter any arithmetic operator, and apart from and based on the operator, it will display result according to the selection of operator. So we will have two numbers, and we will ask the user to enter any operator, and we will store it as a character value. So all these symbols we will store as character values. Okay, now we will ask the user to enter two integers, and we will store them as num1 and num2. Based upon the operator, we will perform operations. So if the operator entered by the user is plus, we will do addition. How we will do addition? We will print the result as num1 and num1 plus num2. If the operator entered by the user is minus, then we will perform subtraction. So the output will be num1 minus num2. If the operator entered by the user is asterisk sign, then we will perform multiplication. But here in case slash, division by 0 is not allowed. If the second number is 0, we will print error that division by 0 is not allowed. But if it is a non-zero value, we will perform division, and we will print the quotient of that division. If the case is percent, This means modulo operator. Again, for modulo, we have to check for non-zero division. So module by 0 is not allowed. But if it is a non-zero number, num2 is a non-zero number, we will print the remainder of the division by num1 divided by num2. Okay, and in default, we will print invalid operator. Let's say I enter any other operator, like say I enter ampersand. So ampersand doesn't fit in like any of these cases. Neither it is plus, nor it is minus, nor it is asterisk, nor it is slash, nor it is modulo. What it is? It is unacceptable. So for that, we have got a default case. So you land into the default case when none of the above cases are there for your operator value. Okay, so we are going to evaluate all of these values. Let's make a program for this calculator. Is this program clear to you? We will do first of all that program. Okay, so open code blocks. Can you see the code block screen? Okay, so now I'll open a file. I will open a new file. Case example. So I have created a new C file, case example. Okay. Now I will start with my program. So here I will write hash include, okay, stdio.h. Then I will have main function in it. Now inside the main function, what I will do? I will declare two numbers, num1 and num2. Okay, and I will declare a character type variable called operator for storing operator, right? So here I will ask the user to enter two numbers and I will store them in these variables num1, num2. Okay, and then I will ask the user enter an operator, enter an arithmetic operator. Which arithmetic operator we want? We can have plus, minus, asterisk, division, or modulo. Okay, for performing all these values. Right? Now we will scan it. Where we will scan it? %C, right? It's an operator. So I will store it in operator variable. Now what will I do? Depending upon the operator, I will take decisions. I will switch on operator. So I have used the switch keyword and I am now evaluating which operator the user has entered. So there can be 5 cases in it. The first case, whatever case will be, it will be entered as a character. So all the cases will be having these values. So if the case is plus, in that case, what will I do? I will printf the result is what? %d num1 plus num2. That will be the result. Okay. Is it right? Num1 plus num2, and then I will break from the switch case. Right? Similarly, I will make up all the remaining cases. But I have to be careful with division and modulo, because there I have to check the non-zero second number. So if the operator selected is multiplication, subtraction, I will print the difference. If the operator selected is for multiplication, I will print the product. Okay. If the operator selected is slash, in that case, I will have to check if num2 is equal to 0. In that case, what I have to do? I cannot continue with division. I will printf error. Why it is an error? Division by 0 is not possible. Because if second number entered by the user is 0, in that case, I cannot continue with my division. Okay, here, but here if it is a non-zero number, I can print the result as num1 divided by num2. Okay, clear? And then similarly, I will have the case for modulo. So what is the case for modulo? Same case. So the num2, the result will be num1 mod num2. Here also break. And then we will use the default keyword. So default keyword means if neither of the above cases are uh, being selected as operator, it means that it is an invalid operator. Okay, so here I will print another error. What that error would be? Invalid operator. Okay, so I have selected invalid operator, which is not allowed. So this finishes the switch case block. Here I will return 0. Okay, so this is how we perform switch case. So let's try to execute this program. Okay. So can you see output screen? So here the program is asking two numbers to be entered. Let's say I entered 3 and 2. Okay, it is asking me to enter an arithmetic operator, but it closed the program. Let me see what is the problem then. Okay. So it is asking me to enter an operator. I'll remove this bracket. Maybe there is some problem with bracket. Here I have stored two numbers, and then I will store the character. We run it again. Okay. I want you to try this code at your end, see if it is working. I'll paste this code here. Okay. So I have pasted this code at your end. I would like the learners to tell me if it is working at their end or if they are facing any error. Code not copy. I have pasted it. Try to copy it, or you can type it yourself. There is no problem in that. Uh, yes, I can do that. I have again pasted it. Check at your end, see if it is working. Is anyone trying to run the code? Is anyone able to copy the code from the chat? Please let me know if it is working. Is it working? Okay. So please try to execute this code at your end. Okay, you have tried with comma sign? No, we if we don't want to put comma sign, that is also okay. No comma sign is there. Okay, so comma sign is not put. Okay, simply we can write %d %d. In this format specified, we don't put comma sign. Okay, so I have just switched these to printf. I will now run this code before you. Let me share my screen with you. Can you see the screen, output screen? So here I have made some change. I have altered the printf statement. from bottom to top. So by doing this, the code had worked. So I am now selecting plus as operator and two numbers as 2 and 3. So the result shown is 5. Okay, so I have selected this operator plus and I have entered the two numbers 2 and 3. So it is showing the result as 5. Okay, so I will run the code again. So here I have entered a asterisk sign. Okay, two numbers I will enter here. Let's say 2 and 3. So now the result is 6. Can you see? Okay. Now what we will do, I will recompile the code again and I will check for whether that switch case is working or not. So for switch case, so switch case here, I will again enter the operation as division. Okay, now it is entering two numbers, 3 and 0. Let's say if I enter 0. So it is saying that division by 0 is not possible because the second number which I have entered is 0. Can you see that if condition is being checked here? Okay. So try this code at your end, see if it is working also. I'm repasting the code. Okay. So hopefully some students have tried to run the code. It is working. Okay. Check for other cases for modulo, please check. For modulo, please check. Did anyone try with modulo? What is the advantage of pasting the code on the chat? Some students are able to copy, that is the advantage. But if it is not, you are not able to copy it, you can type it, take the screenshot, type it. I have pasted the code for your reference. Okay. So please don't see advantages in it. The code is only meant for a reference. Although we don't encourage students to do a copy paste learning, this code is only pasted here for your reference. You have to type it yourself. Okay. So copy paste programming doesn't go long way. Okay. Now coming back to the next topic is loops. So what are loops? Loops means a program which you execute repeatedly. That is what you call that. So all the statements which you want to execute repeatedly, you put them into loops. Okay. So for example, let's say you take 10 breath, 10 times you breathe, let's say. So what you are doing is you are inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, exhaling. So there are two statements, inhaling, exhaling. But how I told you to take 10 breaths. So it means that the same business, the same inhale, exhale, you are doing for 10 times. So there are two statements. First is inhale and second is exhale. But this you are doing in loop. Okay, so inside the loop, you are doing the two statements, you are performing the two statements uh, 10 times. But from where did you start? You start counting from 1. So each time you take a breath, okay, you increment the previous value by 1. And after taking 10 breaths, 10 deep breaths, you stop, right? So it means that uh, from you count from 1 to 10. So there is so this is an this so this is the initial value and this is the final value. So how many times I told you to breathe? I told you to breathe 10 times. How many statements you executed in every iteration, in every repetition? Two statements. Inhale, exhale. Right? And how did you count those breaths? You started from initial value and then when you reach final value, you stopped. Okay, so this is what you call as loops. So we have to understand that how many times the statements are executed, how many times. So that is called iteration. So iteration means repetition. How many number of times the loop is executed, that is called iteration. Okay, so it is called an iteration. So iteration means repetition. Okay. So for having loop statements, there are two types of loops. Okay. Pre-test and post-test loops. So there are two types of loops in C language. First is called pre-test loop and second is called post-test loop. Okay. Or entry control loop or exit control loop. So here what we do is in pre-test loop, as the name indicates, the condition is tested before every iteration. So you have to check whether the condition is true or not. If you want to enter into the loop, you will check whether this condition is true or not. If the condition is true, then only you will go into the loop. You will you will continue in this loop. As soon as the condition becomes false, what will happen? You will come out of the loop. Okay, so you come out of the loop as soon as the condition becomes false. But if you want to continue in the loop, you have to check whether the condition is still holding true. Okay, so this is called pre-test loop. So there are two types of pre-test loop, while loop and for loop. So these are two keywords, while and for. In case of post-test loop, first we execute one times the statement without testing any condition. And once you execute a statement, you check the condition. So the minimum number of times the statement get executed is 1. Even if the condition is false, the minimum number of time the statement will get executed is once. But in this case, the minimum times the statement will get executed is 0. Because if the condition is false right in the beginning, you will not even enter into the loop. But in this case, you will execute the statement first and then check the condition. So even if the condition is false, the minimum time you have executed the statement is 1. So this is where we use do while. So we use two keywords, do and while. I'll tell you how they are used. So there are two types of loops, while loop and pre-test loop and post-test loop. In pre-test loop, the condition is tested before every iteration and then only we enter into the loop. But in post-test condition, we we execute the statement at least once and then check the condition for subsequent iterations. Okay. Is this term clear to you? What is loop? So loop means you have to execute some statements repeatedly. Okay. Although we will study this concept, in detail in theory classes, but nevertheless, for lab, you should have this basic understanding cleared. First of all, tell me the last program, how many of you were able to execute? How many of you executed the last code? And it is not necessary that you write all the cases. You can execute only, you can have only 2 or 3 cases just for understanding. Later on, you will update the code. At least have 2 cases. I'm not asking you to write the entire code. Only write 2 cases and then write default case. Okay. So I think one or two statements have one or two statements. One or two students have executed the code. So here, the while loop. Let me elaborate the while loop. So while means while the condition is true. We use the while word in English. Okay. So there is an idiom in English. Make hay while the sun shines. While the sun shines. So what do you mean by that? Means till the time is favorable, make the most out of it. That is what we mean by that. So if the sun is still shining, continue making hay. Means you have to make hay till this condition is true. So while the condition is true, while this condition is true, continue executing this loop. Continue executing this statement again and again and again. As soon as the sun sets, let's say there is no sun, there is no sun in the sky. There is cloud only, clouds, or it's night time. Can you make hay? No. Why? You didn't even enter into the loop because the condition was false. So when the condition is false, what will happen? You will come out of the loop. Okay. But if the condition is true, continue making hay. So here the statement is what? Make hay. Okay. What is the condition? The sun shines. Okay. Make hay while the sun shines. So continue making hay till the sun is shining. If the sun shining is true, continue making hay. As soon as there is no sun, stop making hay. Come out of the loop. Okay, is it clear? Is the while loop clear to you? So the syntax is use the while keyword, put the condition in parenthesis, and open the block with curly braces and put the statement which you want to run in the loop. So let's take an example to print hello 3 times or 10 times. Okay. So here in this example, what we have done, we have put a counter variable. We have created a counter variable I. So here the initial value of I is 0. Okay. The initial value of I is 0. So here there is a variable I and the output. Okay. So I is 0. Now we check, is 0 less than 3? Tell me, is 0 less than 3? Is 0 less than 3? Yes, 0 is less than 3. So what we should do? Print hello. Output is hello. And now we will increment the I. So I plus plus here means what? I is equal to I plus 1. Means you increment the value of I. So once you increment the value of I, what will happen with I? I will now become 1 because 0 plus 1 is 1. Now you again enter into this condition. You check the condition. Is 1 less than 3? Yes, 1 is less than 3. So what should I do? Print hello. Okay, sir. I have printed hello. And now again I is equal to I plus 1. Again increment. increment the value of I. So this plus plus sign is called increment operator. Increment what? Increment means increment by 1. Okay. Incrementing by 1. Minus minus is called decrement operator, means you decrease the value by 1. So since it is increment, now the new value of I becomes 2. So check if is 2 less than 3. Yes, 2 is less than 3. So what should I do? Print hello. Okay, sir, I have printed hello. Now what? Increment the value of I. So now I will become 3. Is 3 less than 3? Is 3 less than 3? No, 3 is equal to 3. 3 is not less than 3. So what should I do? Come out of the loop. So how many times I have printed hello? 3 times. Okay. First with I value of 0, second time I being value with 1, and the third time I being value with 2. As soon as I became 3, I came out of the loop. What you are writing? Pre-decrement? No, no, no. It is increment, decrement. I is equal to 4, you will not even reach I is equal to 4. I will never become 4. I will only become 3. And as soon as it becomes 3, it will come out. There will be no chance of re-entering the loop. Okay, I will never become 4. The maximum value which I can acquire is 3 in the loop. Is it clear? Is the program clear to you? So the pre-decrement and post-decrement, I am not going to address that particular part right here. Okay, I am just addressing the loop part. Okay, we will come to these operators afterwards. First of all, we should apply this program, run this program. Okay. I think many of you have already learned C program. Okay, but I have to keep everyone on the same page. So many of you have the advanced knowledge of C language. That is fine with me. I don't have any issues with that. It's good for you. But I have to keep all the other learners at the same page. So I have to teach slowly. So what we will do is we will update this program a little bit. So here what we will do is we have to declare a variable I as, let's say, 0, initialize it as 0, and then let's say print hello 10 times. Okay, while I is less than 10. So here what should I do if I is less than 10? I have to print hello. Okay, and then in every iteration I will do I plus plus. But since I will be printing hello 10 times, let's say every time you print on a new line. Okay, so it's a simple program. You try it. Okay, so I'll share the screen with you. So this is the output. Okay, it has printed hello 10 times. Right, it started from 0 and went up to 9. As soon as it became 10, it came out of the loop because the condition is I less than 10. Okay, if you want to print 11 times, what will you do? You can make it less than equal to 10. You can also put less than 11, but you can also put less than equal to 10. By that way also you can do it. Okay. So if you modify this and when putting equal to here, it will also take into account I being equal to 10. Okay. Is it clear? This while loop is clear to you? Uh, okay, I will paste the code here. Okay, try it again. Now, let's do a quick experiment here. In this, what we will do is we will print the sum of n natural numbers. Okay, many students use that formula n into n plus 1 by 2. So when your examiner specifies using a loop, don't use this formula. Okay, there are different ways to calculate sum of n natural numbers. So no one is asking you whether you know this formula or not. You have to use it, use a loop. Okay, so when the examiner specifies using a loop, don't use this formula. Right. So in this case, what we are doing is we are having several variables defined. First is n. Okay. Then we have got a counter variable. This is called loop variable. Okay. This is called loop variable. And then there is a sum because ultimately we have to have sum. Now we will ask the user to enter a positive integer. Let's say I enter 5. Okay. So it means that I want to have display sum of first 5 natural numbers. So the value of n is 5 here. Okay. So the natural numbers start from 1. Okay. The natural numbers start from 1. So let's say the user has entered n 5. So your I is what? 1. So is 1 is less than equal to 5? Tell me. Is 1 is less than equal to 5? Don't consider this if condition. We will assume that user is going to enter a positive integer only. So there is no need for checking this condition. Okay. We just focus on this part of loop. So here, let's say the user has entered 5. Now you would have to check whether I is less than equal to n. So what is I? I is 1. Is 1 less than equal to 5? Yes. So what should be the sum be? Sum is initially 0. So sum plus is equal to I means it is a called shorthand operator. So here sum plus is equal to I means sum is equal to sum plus I. Okay. So the value of sum is 0. I is 1. So the sum is 1. Now the value of I became I plus plus. Now I is becomes 2. Again check the condition. Is 2 less than equal to 5? Yes. 2 is less than equal to 5. So what will you do? Sum. Sum is equal to sum plus I. So due to this operation, sum has become 1. See, for better understanding, we draw a table here. We draw a dry run table. So here we have got n, we have got I, and we have got sum. Okay, so what is n entered by me? N is 5. I started with 1. So we have to check I less than equal to n. Is 1 less than equal to 5? Yes. So the value of sum is what? Sum is initially 0. So now it is sum plus I, which is 0 plus 1, which is 1. Now I do I plus plus. So I becomes 2 here. Sum is 1. So is 2 less than equal to 5? Yes. So what will be sum will be? The new will one value will be 1 plus 2, which will be equal to 3. Because previous value was 1, I added sum plus I. So the new sum's value is 3. Now what do I do? Increment I. So with this I becomes 3. Is 3 less than 5? Yes. So what do I calculate sum? sum will be 3 plus 3. That is 6. Okay. Again, after calculating 6, I increment I by 1. So I becomes 4. Is 4 less than 5? Less than equal to 5? Yes. So what do I do with sum? 6 plus 4 becomes 10. Again, I increment I becomes 5. Is 5 less than equal to 5? Yes. Less than equal to. Yes, 5 is less than equal. 5 is equal to 5. So what do I do with it? I add 5 to this sum. So it becomes 10 plus 5, which is 15. Now I increment I becomes 6. Is 6 less than equal to 5? No. So what is the sum of first 5 natural numbers? 15. You check it. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. That is 15 only. So I'll be printing 15 as the sum of first 5 natural numbers. Okay. So let's try to run this code again. Rahul, I think you know the concept. No need of printing all this. Are you using some other tool? Code review 100 times loop. Are you using Chat GPT? Please don't put in such values here. This is not acceptable. Okay, let's try to run this code. So here, what we will do is we will have different values. I is 1 since we are want to find sum of first 10 natural numbers. We have got a number n, and then we have got sum which is initialized to 0. All these values we declare. So if I is less than equal to num, what we will do? We have to calculate sum, right? So sum is equal to sum plus I. Or in shorthand operation, what you can write? Sum plus equal to I, and then I plus plus. So here we will ask the user to enter a number till which sum has to be calculated. Okay. So we'll ask the user to enter a number till which sum has to be calculated. We will scan that number and store it in num. Right? Now, while I is less than equal to num, so you will calculate sum. And then finally, sum of first dash percent d natural numbers is percent d. So first we will write num and then write sum. Right? So sum of first num natural numbers. So if I give first five natural numbers is this. Okay, so it's a quick program. So let's try to execute it. So let me share the output screen with you. So it is saying enter the number till which the sum has to be calculated. Say I enter 10. Okay. Just a minute. Let me share the screen with you. some change I have to make. Okay. Uh, let me run this code. Sorry, the screen sharing stopped. Okay. So can you see the output screen now? Enter a number till which the sum has to be calculated. Let's say 10. So sum of first 10 natural numbers is 55. Okay. So sum of first 10 natural numbers, it is calculated as 55. Okay. So I hope you understood the example. I'll show you the code again. So this is the code. Please type this code at your end, see if it is working. Okay. So sum of first 10 natural numbers is 55. It is calculating. Okay, good. It is working for some of you. Try to make such programs. Okay. So here there are other programs. Let's say this program uh, for a loop to be like always true. If you want your loop to be always true, you can put any number here. So I have put here 1. So 1 is always true. Okay. So here 1 means what? 1 means true. So it will run forever. Run forever. So because 1 will always be, so it is an infinite loop. Okay. So it is an infinite loop. Okay. So this brings an end to the today's session. We have discussed some examples here for while loop. All right. So hopefully you should try all this example at your end. See if it is working. Okay. All right. Thank you very much and happy learning.